So something that I've been doing in my game and something I saw last year at the USAM. I went there and saw some of the best players in the world. Going to see future professionals on TV in the near future. I just really believe it. Their games are so good. And the one thing that we saw was a lot of fairway woods, and not just any fairway wood. We were seeing 5 woods and 7 woods. 3 wood had kind of disappeared, and it got me thinking about my own game. Now, I love my 3 wood, but started thinking about what is the value of a 7 wood versus something like having a hybrid or having a 2 iron. So let's talk about that today, and I'll show you how I've gone about testing them and what I've decided. Now, first off, whenever you're working with golf clubs, biggest thing is you got to have a goal. What are you trying to achieve with those golf clubs? So for me, I have a little bit of a gap in the bag. My 4 iron, that's the longest iron I carry, that goes about 205 in the air, maybe get it up to 210 if I'm feeling good and it's warm and all that stuff. But my 3 wood can go about 245 to 250 in the air. So I have a gap in there that I need to close. I like to have something that's like 230 or maybe 225 in the air that I can hit. So we're going to run through these clubs and I'll talk about what these clubs are and why they do what they do. But first things first, let's get on the launch monitor and let's hit some shots. I'm going to start it off with the 2 iron because this is the club that's currently in my bag. So I'm going to hit a couple, and I had this in the bag for about the last year. I'm going to tell you, there's a reason I'm looking at different clubs. So okay, hit that pretty good. Been hitting this club a little better of late. You can see 232 in the air. 232 in the air there. That's pretty good. Hit that really good too. Little tiny bit of draw to it. We got a little wind, a little bit to the left. I could neutralize that, but it's not too bad as we go. You can see here, first thing I want to look at is we're looking at this 2900 spin axis, little draw. That's what I like. You can see that launch at 9. Okay. And look at the descent. This is a big one when we're fitting clubs. Vertical descent. This ball is coming down at 25 degrees. It's coming down. That's very, very flat. If you think about it, like we're hitting irons and middle irons that are going to stop on a green, we're looking for 45 or even a little higher. Okay, so 25, very, very flat as we go. Pretty good. And that's kind of the miss I get with this club. Just starts going left on me pretty quick. And then when that happens, you can see even a lower descent angle there, 22. And then that ball, 28 spin, 2800 spin, 229 in the air. So the carry is good, but this club really only has one function, to hit it off a tee. If I was playing at St. Andrews, I would bring this club. I wouldn't even bring a 3 wood. I would bring this club because it's super low and it's very flat. It's going to hit, it's going to run, and then it goes. But remember, the goal I have is I need a shot that's going to land on a green and then stop. So this is where we started moving through this a little bit. Let's go to the hybrid here. So 3 hybrid, this is the GT3, 19 degrees on this guy, 19 degrees. So very similar to the 2 iron. So the numbering, and again, the lofts get a little bit different with the clubs. So always just check the loft that you're getting. I've liked this hybrid so far. I've typically not been a hybrid guy. When I go through and hit hybrids, one of the things that I get is I get a very big hook. I've always struggled with hitting them left. This hybrid just doesn't do that. For whatever reason, it's a very sleek hybrid, and it just doesn't go right. So, it doesn't go left. So it's been really, really good as we go through and hit these so far. So let's go ahead. We'll hit a few here and let's talk about this one. Oh, baby. This club is just slowly creeping in. See the difference in the distance. So again, I do have it on range ball mode, and we've got some wind helping this draw out. So this ball is kind of cooking, but immediately right off the bat, 400 more RPMs of spin. Okay, 400 more RPMs of spin. You can see, let's get to that descent, 32 degrees of descent now on this club. Okay, so we're starting to see that ball get a little higher and have a little bit more of a chance to stop. It also goes farther, right? You can see that it does go pretty far. So again, we're riding this a little bit downwind. If we want, we can change that and just see what we're getting as we go. So you can see more in that 240 range is what this club would be as we go, if we took out the elements we got going on right now. Like that was a toe ball, and that thing's not going left. That's awesome. So you can see about 240 there. We love that. And even on a toe ball, spin still up above 3,000. Toe ball would bring the spin down. Okay, toe ball would bring that spin down. The launch up at 11. We saw that iron was at 9, and then let's see that vertical descent as we're coming down. 34 is going to be what it is. Again, we are riding a little downwind, so it's going to flatten out a little bit, but you can see it's still pretty good as we're going through this. One more here. Yeah, that's it right there. That's good. So descent there up again above 30. We like that. That's better. Spin got a little flat on that one. We kind of caught a flat one there, but 240 in the air as we go. But biggest thing is what we're seeing with this hybrid is I'm seeing the ability to hit it higher, and again, being the goal, it's a great combo, I think, of going between, hey, I have a T-ball that's going to run, but it is coming in a little bit higher, so it can stop. I also think I can get away with adding loft to this guy because it's going farther than that 2-iron was, so I could actually add some loft and maybe get some more height, more spin on this guy as we go. The other thing that we didn't talk about is it's really important to hit these clubs on course because you can see what's going on out there, but you can also see how these interact in like the rough. The bigger sole than the 2-iron is going to be a little bit bigger or a little bit better from other conditions that we'll see. All right, we'll go 7 wood here. 7 wood. So 7 wood. We had the 10C 1K black, again an X-Flex, around 80 grams in that shaft. This is the VF shaft, the Tour AD. This is my favorite shaft. I use it in my driver and 3 wood as well. It's just awesome. It is expensive though, I get that. And it's just not available in all the clubs. I couldn't get it in the hybrid at this point, so we didn't get it. But 7 wood here, 21 degrees aloft, and let's go. I love this club. You can just see this one's going to go really high. 4,000 RPMs a spin already. 4,000 descent angle, getting closer to 40. And again, it went 237 in the air without our help. I kind of faded that one against the wind. So in real, when I go against the wind, you're going to lose a little bit of yardage. But the way I hit it would be right around that 240 mark. Let's see if we can draw one here a little bit. Oh my goodness, it just goes so high. So high. Love it. You can just see that. So 240, I'm going to take off our normalizer. I don't really need that. 244 in the air. 5,200. Descent 45. There we go. We're getting there. We're getting there. Oh man, that goes so high. And I'm not losing distance, which is the key part. The distance is still right about where I want. And that one I hit really well, 250 to that one, 4,500. And then we've got that descent at 38. One other thing we could look at is total height. So 110 on that one. Let's go back just to check out the other ones. GT3, height 83 on that one. That was a little bit lower, 70, 82. And then let's go back to our iron. Here we go. You can see 63, 58, and then 50 on that height. So it's cutting it in half as we go through. So again, what would I look for as I'm hitting these clubs. First off, one is a little bit of feel, right? What do you like? Now, I like fairway woods. I'm okay with that. Some people don't like fairway woods. Then if that's you, then you don't need to hit them. They all feel great. I do only play Titleist clubs. I'm part of Titleist staff, so just keep that in mind. But there are plenty of options out there as well. But these are my favorite. I did get to pick which staff I went to, so that was nice. But the one thing that I think we look at with these clubs is, what is it going to do for your game? This 7-wood having a bigger base is going to be a little bit easier to use out of the rough. Hybrid, still easier than the iron, but maybe not as easy as this big wide sole. When you're looking at the 2-iron, that's going to be a little bit tougher out of those conditions. So you have to decide what you're looking for. If you're somebody that needs just low bullets off the tee, maybe the driving iron is the play. If you're somebody that needs really high shots and you need to dig it out of some rough sometimes, and you need to be able to land the ball on the green, if you're playing fast, firm for greens, stuff like that, then maybe the 7 was the option. And then, not a shock by the name, but if you need a hybrid of both, then maybe the hybrid is where you go. But the only way you really can tell is by getting out and getting fit. And one other note, I think the best thing, if you can do it, I know this can be tough, but if you can get out and try this on course using your golf ball in your situations, that is always going to be a really good thing too. So if you have any questions about it, any questions about these clubs, please let me know. I'll link it down here to the Missile Performance Center, so if you want to check out some more of their stuff, please check that out and some of the stuff that we do as I'm part of the team here. But also, make sure you check out our channel, Scott Hogan Golf. Click that subscribe button, and we'll see you in the next one, all right? Thanks, everybody. Peace.